coming out last night, gutting actually for Matt Doherty, as he ruptured his medial collateral ligaments in his knee, and he is going to be out for the remainder of the season. And how unlucky can you be? Because he finally, endeared himself to the Tottenham fan base, finally putting in consistent good performances, whether it be at right wing back, left wing back, whatever you want to say. He's been really good. Hasn't he, since this kind of uptick in form, and it's just so frustrating that this had to happen at this stage of the season.
Yeah, I feel awful for him because he just found his form, and he started to finally get the respect of the Tottenham fans and find his place in the team, and probably believe he was getting that form that made him one of the most effective right wing backs in the league. And for him to get that injury must be gutting for him, and I don't know how long that means he's going to be out for, but definitely for the remainder of the season. And who knows how he'll recover from that and how he'll come back from that, because it sounds like a serious injury. And you can see as well on Saturday, he tried so hard to stay on. He really didn't want to come off. I think
three times.
Yeah, I think part of me thinks he was in such good form that he didn't want to go off injured and then potentially lose his place in the team because Reguilon comes on and plays well or something. I think part of me felt like he was thinking about that, but he just couldn't continue, unfortunately. And you saw he tried hard, and unfortunately he was a victim of what was Villa's assault on us in that first half, pretty much, with some of the challenges. I think Kulusevski is lucky that he didn't follow suit in that regard. I think Villa were disgraceful in that first half, and I think the referee let him get away with it. I thought he was an absolute shambolic and disgusting refereeing display from Villa, and I think Doherty now is the victim of that, and I feel so bad for him. And also it takes a bit away from how we're going to play, because he was, in terms of output, he was by far and away the most effective wing-back we had on current form, And things like, for example, when we played Everton and he's playing these like great through balls, like Emerson's not capable of that. He's not capable of that kind of play. I think Emerson is better at Doherty at maybe stretching the play and sticking out wide, and he's a bit more of an athlete. But in terms of technical ability, in terms of timing of runs, in terms of a player you trust with the ball, Doherty wins hands down by and large. And also getting into the back post and scoring goals and things like that, Doherty is by far and away more effective, and that's more important, I think, in Conte's system. So he's going to be a big miss at right wing back for sure from now to the end of the season, and Emerson's going to have to step up and up his game, because he's going to have a lot of game time now, unless he goes with Reguilon and Sessegnon wing backs, which you never know.
I think he'll persist with Emerson for now, unless he really lets him down.
I think for now he will, but he started Doherty on the left. Why can't he start Sessegnon on the right? And I think I remember against Morecambe thinking that he played Sessegnon on the right wing back for a bit, and I actually think Sessegnon did all right there.
But, Emerson's played the last two games at right wing back now. He also played the game against Man City at right wing back. Yeah. That's probably the last three games he started.
He started against Burnley as well.
Fine, and Burnley. But, it proves that we can get results, and good results, with Emerson at right wing back. Obviously, everyone's had their reservations about Emerson. Even Conte's had reservations about Emerson. But now it's his time to shine, isn't it? It's his time potentially to even save his Tottenham career. Because there's all these rumours about Atletico Madrid in the summer for Emerson. So it's his time to really step up and prove that he needs to be here to stay, or he wants to be here to stay. This is literally his time to shine, where we don't have any other fit right wing back in the squad.
No, I agree with that. And I think he will trust Emerson. And that's why he started on Saturday, because I think he wanted to respect the fact that he played well against Newcastle, and he didn't want to drop him immediately just because Sessegnon and Reguilon are back. I think Conte plays with the fact that when you earn the shirt, it's yours till you lose it, kind of thing. I think that's how he likes to approach things, and that's how he has done so far since being appointed Tottenham manager. And I think Emerson will be playing until he puts in a really bad performance or a couple, and then maybe you have to rethink it. But Emerson, I just don't know if he's capable of what Doherty's capable of. We'll have to wait. Hopefully he proves me wrong. But I think it might make us a bit more. I think defensively he might help us, and especially I think also against big teams like Liverpool. I actually think having someone like Emerson there might help us a bit, because I think his athleticism can cover more ground, and it means we probably won't get caught out as much. But I just don't think he's as good when going forward and trying to affect things in the final third. He hasn't shown to be as good as Doherty. But you know what? It wasn't up until that game against Leeds where Doherty was showing anything. And maybe Emerson might have one of those games where he finally starts to get it and explodes.
It's a lot to be said, though, like when Emerson was starting earlier parts of the season, our right side was so much weaker than it is now. He had Sanchez behind him.
Yeah.
He had Lucas Moura in front of him. Now he's got Kulusevski in front of him and Romero behind him.
That's also true. That's a fair point. That's a very fair point, and that hopefully will change things for him. I'm not worried about having Emerson at wing back for the remainder of the season. I don't think that's going to mean we fall apart or anything. Unlike Arsenal, one injury in left back, and all of a sudden everything's falling apart. But I don't think it's going to be that detrimental. But I just feel bad for Doherty himself, because he was playing so well and he was getting consistent goals and assists as well. And he was making a real difference for us. And we're going to lose that, which is a shame. But hopefully whatever we lose with Doherty, hopefully Emerson can start learning the role a lot better. And obviously, I think Reguilón or Session will still be battling out that left wing back slot. But it's a massive shame. Do you think he was planning on keeping Doherty on the left and Emerson on the right?
I'm not too sure about that. I don't think so. I think he was always planning to put Doherty back on the right-hand side and one of Sessegnon or Reguilón on the left. I think he just kept it for that specific game just because both of them had quite a strong game the game before. But I think the plan was always to go back to the natural positions.
Yeah, you're probably right. But the thing is, it's interesting though, because this injury has happened now, what do we do in terms of the summer? Because obviously Doherty was hoping to play these last few games to fully cement the fact that he can show his consistency over a long stretch of games and show that he can be a right back for us in the Champions League or whatnot. He wanted to show that. Here now, how many games did he actually play from February till now? Maybe 6 or 7 games?
Something like that, yeah.
So he's only really shown that consistency over that period, which is a fair period. But do we keep him now based on that period of games, or do we still think, okay, do we try and get some money for him based on the fact that his stock is pretty high, even though he's injured? His stock will be high based on his performances, or do we think maybe he's shown enough in those games that he can be our right back for next season? What do we think? Do we think we sell him?
We need someone of higher quality. Just because he's come in and had some good games, yes, he's had some good games, but I still don't think it's on a level as opposed to like where we want to be, where we used to be with Kyle Walker and Danny Rose and those kind of flying wing backs.
Let's say he never got this injury and he was keeping up these standards for these last 7 games. Would that have changed anything for you?
Not really, to be honest. I think that it would have changed in terms of maybe I would like to ship out Emerson and keep him as a backup. I'd always want to sign a new right wing back. I think.
No, we're always going to sign one. It's
but to start, not like even to fight, just to start, because I think that we need higher quality than Matt Doherty in this squad. Doherty's doing a job for now, and he's doing a really good job at that. But I still think it's very much an upgradable position, a bit like Ben Davis. How Ben Davis is doing really well, playing good football. It's hard to displace him from the team, but he still needs to be upgraded on.
Yeah, I know, but obviously in January, it wasn't about Doherty being upgraded on. It was about just getting him out. Everyone wanted him out, right? We didn't want him part of the squad anymore. We didn't think he was good enough. He obviously, after January, he's come into the team, played really well for a decent stretch of games, 6-7 games, and he showed that he can actually not only be relied upon, but provide an effective part of the team, a wing back, in terms of providing goals and assists like he did for Wolves. And he started to show the form that made us sign him for Wolves. Mm-hmm. So now he's got that injury. Are we still in the camp of we just don't want him part of the squad anymore? Or has he shown enough? It just in these 7 games to say, I'm happy for you to even if it's backup, to be part of the squad next season? Or would you still try and get money for him? Because his stock is high. His stock would be high now because he's got. It depends.
If a good offer comes in, I'm not against selling him. But with what he's shown since that Leeds game, I'm happy for him to be in and around the squad. But again, obviously, like I said, we still need to sign a few wing backs. Oh, not a few, but a wing back, a right wing.
Yeah, I know. We're going to need someone regardless because Emerson probably needs to go, and I think he will go. I don't think Conte want him around next season. So
but
regardless,
what happens if the same thing happens with Emerson now in these 7 games remaining from now until the end of the season? What if he starts performing?
Depends to what level.
If he performs, to a similar level that Matt Doherty's performing at now.
We'll have to see it, but if he does, then I'm open to him staying. But like at the moment, he hasn't shown any sort of ability that makes me think he can be consistently effective in the final third. It's not even just terms of quality and technical ability, it's also decision making. I haven't seen that from him yet. That we have seen from Doherty, even though it's in a small stretch of games. What we have seen from Emerson is athleticism. We've seen ability to get in the positions Conte wants him to get in on the wing, not necessarily in the box, but in terms of out wide stretching the play. How many times do you see Kane looking for an option and Emerson's always available? Happens very often because Emerson's a good athlete and he can find space well. But when he does receive the ball, more often than not, he's found wanting, and that's something he needs to improve on massively. If he's going to be it's not necessarily going to be good enough for a right back in the Premier League. If he's going to be a good enough wing back in Conte's system, that's what he needs to do, and he hasn't shown that. Look, if he goes and gets goals and assists like Doherty's been getting in the last 7 games and shows to me that he can do it, then we'll have that conversation. But right now, there's no point having that conversation.
Yeah, but ultimately, I think. Personally, I'd probably like to sign two new right wing backs that are definitely going to come in and do a job. But if not, then I'm happy to keep Matt Doherty as a backup and sign a new first choice right wing back. That's for sure.
Yeah, be interesting to see if it does affect anything in the summer with this injury. But I feel bad for him because I think Doherty even now still feels like he probably has to prove himself even now because he had a good stretch of games. Which he's been very good, but he still hasn't done it over like half a season or something. He's only been 7 or 8 games, hasn't it? So
7 games, yeah. Well, 7 including Villa, so really 6.
6 games. Is that long enough to really tell? Like,
but how many times have we seen this with Spurs players, right? Where all the fan base want them gone. They put in like a late surge for a good performance. Like Davinson Sanchez, how many times has this happened with him? And other players as well. Harry Winks, it's happened with. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but it's happened with many other players before where for all the fan base want him gone and then they make a late surge maybe towards the end of the season and they're like, oh, maybe they can play. And then they get stuck here for a much longer period of time.
Yeah.
It's happened a lot. So I think that once you know a player's not of the required ability, and Doherty, as much as he's been playing well the last 6 games, I don't think he's of the required ability of, what Conte wants going to challenge for a league title.
Sorry, Doherty?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. But then you would have said Moses isn't, and they won a title with him.
That's true. That's true. But Moses was much more athletic than Doherty and could get up and down the pitch a lot better than Matt Doherty can.
It's true. I think Doherty's probably good enough to be backup. Yeah. I would have him as backup for next season.
Backup at most, though.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah, we all wanted a new right back. I think Conte wants a new right wing. We know that. But before, I'm just saying, before everyone wanted Doherty out, has that changed? Probably.
I think it's made people a bit more open to him staying, but I think ultimately, if a good offer comes in, you got to take it.
Do you think a good offer might come in this summer?
Probably not. I don't think so. 30 years of age.
Yeah, but we signed him at 13. You don't think we can get our money back, or 15 million, or 20 million? The way from what he's shown, maybe.
What, for 6 games?
Yeah, but if that's what everyone remembers right now because that's his last. And also, although he's had difficulty betting into Tottenham, he was very good at Wolves. He had a difficult 18 months, then started showing his form again, and now he got injured. This is why this injury is such bad time for Doherty. This is exactly what I'm saying. Because he was on the cusp of showing that form again.
We signed him, 2 years ago?
18, at beginning of last season.
So he was, 28 when we signed him?
Yeah.
He's now 30 years of age, he's got a really big injury now behind him. I can't see us getting what we paid for him. I think literally 10 million at the absolute top.
I think we can get 13 based on these games. I think
at that age,
million.
That injury, where's he going to go? He's not going to go anywhere better than us. So,
no.
He's not going to go to any of the teams I think maybe a West Ham, maybe he could
Who
go
plays
to.
a back three? Maybe like Brentford.
Brentford.
He could do good at Brentford, I reckon.
A Burnley, someone
Back to
like that. But back to Wolves. I just can't see us getting, I think, 10 million at the absolute tops, to be honest. I don't think at that age, with that injury now, I just can't see it.
Yeah, it depends how bad this injury is. But it's bad. But this is what I'm saying, because if he did show this form from now to the end of the season, would have no problems, I don't think, getting offers.
I think without the injury, I think the injury makes a big difference.
Yes, I'm saying I feel bad for him. That's why I feel so bad for him.
It makes a difference in terms of him being in the Tottenham squad, and a big difference of him moving on as well. So it's kind of screwed everything, this injury, for Matt Doherty.
Yeah.
But that is that on Matt Doherty. Unfortunately, he is out for the remainder of the season, which is very hard to take.